it's not about what it looks like with your stream numbers. It's about what you actually stand for and provide as an artist to your fans, with your story, with your image, with your brand, with your marketing, all that shit together. That's where you go from being a scam artist to a musical artist.
Like you always say, are you being an entertainer? Are you actually entertaining?
Mm-hmm.
Are you providing some sort of value to your fans?
People forget that part. If you make music, you're in the entertainment industry. If you don't want to be an entertainer, don't put your music out.
Do something the fuck else.
Because once you put your music out, you enter that, and then you need to do that. You need to entertain. I'm unstoppable, like rolling, cracking out the mows. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow. I'ma grind. What's up, y'all? Hardcoast here with the Music Making Sense podcast, and we're coming to you today with a great episode where we're extra gonna be talking about music marketing, branding, and how to have actual success as an independent artist. With me, as always, is the boxing champ himself, KP. And we're joined here with Capone joining us again, probably going to be a regular thing. And we are also joined with a special guest today, straight from outer space on his UFO. It is Dan from Hangar 5 Entertainment.
Let's give him some love.
Absolutely.
What's up?
And I always fuck.
Thank you.
Fuck with him about the alien thing because before I even met him, he had a company called Hangar 5 Entertainment, and he had a radio show called Area 51, and he loved the alien shit, and so then I always fuck with him that he's an actual alien. So, so Dan's here to talk with us, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things. There you go, KP. But
sometimes you just got to embrace it.
Exactly.
Facts.
But yeah. So what we're going to be talking about today?
Hold on, bro.
Yep.
Don't forget what we got to do, my man. We got to show the love, and we got to show them who we're powered by.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Hello.
Absolutely. Riverside. We're using it right now. It's dope. It's great. It's amazing. If you use Zoom for anything, stop. Go down below, click the link for Riverside, get your first month free, and actually elevate your video usage experience and everything like that. I mean, you can edit within the software. You can chop clips, auto clips, and shit like that. Text-based editing, all that fun stuff as well too. It's fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But we're coming here to talk to you today about multiple different things. Like I said at the beginning, we're coming here to talk to you about actual success as an artist. A lot of people, they use a lot of different methods to get the facsimile or the appearance of success, but they don't actually have it. By using stream teams, which for those of y'all who don't know, is where you get some of your friends and everything like that to sign on with all their devices and just listen on repeat to specific songs or specific playlists on Spotify and stuff like that, where they use actual bot farms and stuff like that. And whether they use like these different playlists that are filled with bots, or they'll actually get together different groups of artists and will form engagement teams as well too, where they will go and comment on each other's posts and create manufactured engagement instead of actually being real or organic, authentic engagement from people who actually like the shit. And so all those different methods, they'll give you the appearance like you're popping. You'll see your engagement go up on social media. You'll see your streams start going up. You'll see all this stuff. And you can start touting some of that, but it's not real. It's just like a BBL. It looks nice, but it's not real, okay? You can still play around with it. You can still have some fun, but it's not real, okay? We just got to be real with it and say it is what it is, okay? KP knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. Come on now.
I think all of us, every one of us know what the hell we're talking about there, pal. Come on now.
Exactly. But yeah, so we got Capone in here with us as well too. He really wanted to talk about it. Me and him have been talking about this stuff for a while. And he was kind of going off on social media on Monday, the same time I was, really, about a lot of this stuff. And the reason I started going off about it was because some people added me into a Facebook group message where they were talking about doing an engagement team. And I'm like, So I messaged him and I was like, hey, I appreciate y'all's motivation. I appreciate y'all adding me. I appreciate your motivation for wanting to have success. But I'm not about manufacturing engagement with streams or engagement on social media, like that. I'm about real results. If you want to discuss that, we can discuss that. I got a free course on how to do it and everything. Here's my website, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, they just kept going about other stuff, kind of like ignoring what I said. But one person said, all right, man, we got to chill with the long messages. Not all of us like to read. I'm like, okay,
that's your goddamn problem when you say that.
Yeah, well, you're ignorant as fuck. Yeah, exactly.
About,
and so then, like, it kept going for, like, I let it go for, like, another 20, 30 minutes. And then I ended up being like, hey, look, I ain't about doing, because I finally saw what they were doing. I'm like, look, I ain't about this. If y'all want to have some real results, hit me up, but I'm going to bounce out of here. And I sent that message, and then I just exited the group. But then I saw
fuck
Capone.
You and have a nice day, pretty much, I would say.
Exactly. I did professional.
Yeah,
I saw Capone talk about similar things. Me and KP have talked about similar things. Me and Dan have talked about similar things. Me and him, I joined him to help him grow his Sony Orchard distribution, as well as some other things that he does in the realm of music marketing as well too. So we're all music marketers talking about the same thing. But Dan has experience actually running stream teams. Capone has messed around with them as well too. You said I've been party to it back in like 2018, 2019. I did a feature with an artist, and he was like, hey, this is what we do. We're going to go ahead and listen. So he's put it on a playlist and start listening to it on all the devices you got.
I went through it too.
Like, okay,
I actually
cool.
did it on my first one.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
You did it too?
I did it too. Yes.
Yeah. So we've all done it. So we're not sitting on here on high horses.
Right.
A couple of us are high, but we're not on high horses.
Hello. That's right. Well, dude,
exactly.
Gotta put that there. Oh.
There you go. And but yeah, so we're coming to talk about that stuff. So I'll leave it open to whoever wants to hop in first before I just take over the episode like I'm bound to do half the time.
Yeah, no shit. But anyway.
God, call me out, KP. Oh, and two, as well. So this isn't our official 1 year anniversary yet of our first episode. Not yet. But it is about approximately the 1 year from when me and KP first met. And we met on a group call, and we actually got into a back and forth about this topic.
Oh, no, it wasn't necessarily a back and forth. I think it was really like, it was one of those things where you and I pretty much, we had a really good conversation about it. And the moment this son of a bitch opened his mouth, y'all, I was like, dude, we have got to do a podcast together.
And the other people on the group call, they were like, y'all should have a podcast. Because we just kept going back and forth for like a couple of minutes or whatever. Because at first, like I made a point because it was about Chad Focus being on Brand Man. And he's well known for running bot farms, getting in trouble for it, a lot of different ins and outs and everything like that. Went to prison, yada, yada. But he came on Brand Man. I didn't like some of the ways that he was going about doing some of his talking, whether he was trying to say everybody should fucking do it. I'm like, okay, that's not the best thing to do. But anyway, so like the first thing I said was like, oh yeah, I like Brand Man, but I don't like how they had Chad Focus on because he's a fucking scammer. And then of course me and KP went back and forth on the ins and outs and all that and stuff. We're not gonna go into it fully here, but then that's when people were like, you should start a podcast. So we did. So it's about the 1 year from that. So it seems fitting to talk about this subject as well too. It's just like the synchronicity of the universe, just like what Capone was talking about with last episode. It just all happens. And then Dan, you actually sent me a thing. It was a short from Brand Man where they had, I think it was French Montana on talking about.
It was French Montana.
Talking about people using their
numbers.
Spotify numbers and posting it, but it's Spotify's numbers and not theirs, type of thing.
Let's transition into this convo.
Right, exactly. So Capone or whoever wants to hop in, go.
We'll let Dan go ahead, man.
Yeah, welcome, Dan. Lead off.
Look, it's been a while since I've been on a podcast like this. So, my thing is, especially with the stream teams, the engagement teams, whatever it is, the device farms, they're different in their own way. Stream teams, okay, you have specific people that you're telling them, hey, go listen to my song. Device farms, you're just setting up devices like 50 or 60, that's their job, is just to listen to your music, to blow your numbers up. So,
right.
And then it all it does is muddy your analytics. It makes you look like you're doing good, but you're not. And that's from my own experience. you're not really doing what you
No.
think you're doing.
Right. And then like we had to deal with here recently, I kind of went off about it on the last episode.
Yeah.
And when Dan heard that, he was like, "Oh shit, you're talking about so-and-so." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Because me and Dan were going back and forth. Dan was the one I was talking to
Yeah.
about that shit. When I'm like, "No, fuck this guy, cut him." Because he's over here.
We've had a lot of conversations about that.
Yeah, I like to call that dude a funny name, but we're not gonna say it on public because fuck that guy. But but like, you know, all right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster or you have an online business or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything, all right? I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices, plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services, so I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, you know, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast, so I know that this ad's actually working. All right, I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show. He's getting like $60 a month from fucking the stream shit that he's doing. I'm like, you're going to put the whole thing in jeopardy and everybody else on this label for you getting $60. Dude, go do a DoorDash for 3 hours or one weekend, bro. Fuck off, you know, type of thing. It's like you get a little bit of money, right? Which is what some people want. I mean, you can turn it into a business, obviously, and make more money by selling it to other people. But in reality, what you're doing is, like what Dan just said, you're muddying your analytics because those are not really the people who would fuck with you on this shit. So anybody that Spotify tries referring you to that would be similar to the people listening, they're not going to like it most of the time because that's not really who would like your shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, Capone?
Man, so it's what I seen from it from when I was in, the stream team I was on, which what we did was every person that was in the stream team had multiple devices going, so it was like a stream team, stream farm duo thing going on. And we, my boy that had started it up with somebody else in, I think it was Nigeria, there was well over 200-300 people. You know what I'm saying? So 200-300 people in the network, plus all of them are doing it as well. Because I tried to start one, but that shit's way too much fucking work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
And so, what I was seeing is that sure, like, and not to mention that I never made over $100 a month. You know what I'm saying? Doing it, but what I seen was sure, you get those numbers on one platform. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're connected in with somebody that's doing it on Apple, Tidal, YouTube and shit like that, which those are hard to register. Spotify makes it super easy for you to game their system. But it was a lot of numbers, but no engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, I think when I stopped doing it, when I told them to take me off the playlist, I had over 800,000 streams on 5 songs in like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And which cool. I can say I got over 800,000 streams, but what the fuck does that really mean if nothing else, none of my other platforms, have anything popping? All I'm doing is getting a little tiny smidget of money, and nothing else coming from it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is that I always fight the urge to publicly blast this information whenever I see people post their oh, look how much I'm getting in the first week or whatever, because you can see how many streams they got and how many listeners. I'm like, okay, each one of those listeners are only listening like once or twice and then they're bouncing. So if you're on a playlist, your song's not resonating with the people on the playlist, for one. And then if you're running some kind of scam or whatever, it's like, what the fuck are you doing type of thing, and you'll see that, like, you'll see it, the numbers don't line up. But you won't have any individual user playlist ads. You won't have any saves on your shit. You won't be gaining more followers. You won't be doing all these metrics that are needed to actually activate the recommendation engine on Spotify.
Yeah, or the
And that's the key too, is that like me and Dan, we're working together to run a test case for conversion ads right now. And it's going great. Like I was telling the guys before,
really great.
like we're running it for one of my songs called Running Round, and it's doing well, right? It's getting solid listeners, solid listens, solid playlist ads and saves and everything like that. It's doing really well.
Nice.
And the conversion's going good. And then also the thing too that's going even better is that one of my other songs in my catalog is doing 3 times better than that song being promoted because of the residual, because the people that are seeing my ad on Facebook and Meta platforms, they like it, so they're clicking the button,
clicking on the button and going
to go to the landing page, and then they're clicking another button to go to Spotify. They're listening, they're hitting save because they like it, they're hitting playlist, add to my personal playlist, I like it, and then after they're done listening to that once or twice, they either go in and check another song, or it recommends another song, and it's recommending my song Unstoppable. And my song Unstoppable has, a little over double the amount. No, I think it's almost 3 times the amount of streams, double the amount of listeners, and almost double the amount of playlist saves.
And if we keep it up on YouTube,
month over month,
and the cool thing is that if we keep that on our podcast as our intro song for the podcast, and we start gaining subscribers and things like that, and hit that 1,000 mark, right? Guess what? My dude is going to be making going to be able to start making a little money off that as
helps.
well. Yeah.
Right.
So,
and it's already being calculated on
and it's already being calculated as well, right?
But yeah, because Unstoppable is the song that's the lead-in song here. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, I mean, and see, the thing is that like I'm not trying to like make my music go. We're just using my music as a test case because I'm not entitled, right? Because Dan was like, hey, we need to run some test case. Let's use some of the other artists that we work with. Let's find one. I'm like, no, because like they're going to get entitled because we're going to be doing free promotion for them for a test case. And they're going to be like, oh, do it again. And I'm like, I'm not going to care about that shit because I'm focusing on helping other people with their music marketing. I don't give a fuck if my music pops or not. Fuck it, right? I enjoy making it. I enjoy when people love it like they are right now. But that's like the bottom of my list of concerns is my personal music promotion. I'm worrying about Apex Music System, Music Making Sense podcast, growing those, helping artists and changing other people's lives in that way, because that can trickle a lot more than, now I've said it before, that can trickle a lot more to helping the population of the world than just my personal music, right?
But I do feel like this. But here's the thing I feel though with that, it helped and because we talked about the benefits of using one. Well, I've talked about having a podcast as an artist. Well, here's one of the benefits that you have having a podcast and being an artist is that you're able to get people to listen to the song, even if it's a piece of content. They're listening to that hook, that I'm unstoppable. They hear that, then a lot of people who are hearing, they're gonna go listen to the song, right? Because they hear that hook. So those who like that, they're gonna they're gonna want to figure out
it is my
where the
personal
song
motto,
and it's his
too.
personal vow.
So.
And it shows artists because the fact that you are teaching music marketing as well and making them understand how it works, you being able to utilize your music, and then they're seeing the growth of it. That's going to even give them more of an incentive to want to learn from you as well.
Proof of service.
Because now they see that you have they see you as one of them, not just a guy who's behind the scenes or a suit and trying to get in the booth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that I think that's that is a huge benefit for you, especially when it comes to you with the business. Because if you think about Andrew Southworth, when he was the course you've taken,
he's a musician as well.
He's a musician as well, and he's been able to utilize. In fact, he said that he makes more money from his courses than he does his music. But the fact that he has his music, it helps propels what he does, because now he's able to use it in a conceptual fashion. And that's why I feel with you, the fact that you are teaching music marketing as well and making them understand how it works, you being able to utilize your music, and then they're seeing the growth of it. That's going to even give them more of an incentive to want to learn from you as well. Because now they see that you have you're basically teaching them how it works. That's what really makes you a cool conceptual artist. But where your voice comes in is behind the marketing, right? Because you're able to use that, because you're able to use your music as a tool to say, hey, this is how you're able to utilize marketing. And the way that you break down and analyze marketing and the way you use the steps, that gives a major, and the fact that you're a killer content creator and you you bring more of a sense, you bring the more sense of instruction, right? And I think with that too, another thing, artists, I really want y'all to pay attention to where I'm coming from on this, because this is one of those things where as an artist, you're able to utilize many different things that you're capable of doing, and you're able to break it down and be able to make other businesses and open up other streams of income for yourself. Right.
So, and that's what happened with me is that as I started learning about marketing and stuff like that, how to market my music as an artist, and at the same time I had Hip Hop Hour, which was my radio show style podcast. I was trying to learn how to market that. Right. But I was just learning how to market my stuff. I realized I like the marketing stuff better, you know. And what were you saying? You were gonna say something, Capone, before you had to get up?
You're muted, boss man.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man.
Every damn time.
Now he's got a mute. He's choking.
No,
that's all right, man.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like Andrew uses his music as his proof of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And that's what I'm doing as well too. Yeah.
It's easy for him to do because he doesn't have to ask for permission. He doesn't have to wait to hear back from somebody if he can use their stuff. So he has that. But even more so, Andrew is one of very few artists that are able to make money like that off of his music without performing. He doesn't do live performances. He's never
and that's another thing that he does too. So that proves a point where like, but there are certain, but here's the thing, Capone. I feel like there are people who there are very few people who really have that knack where they can focus on be as conceptual with the way like they could just put out the music without focusing on the image and the art, like myself, right? Who focuses on the
you're
branding
very
side.
Image. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right, you don't care. And see, but that's that's the beauty of it. And I was talking with one of my person who's going to become a student.
Capone cares about his image too.
Yeah,
I got holes in my shirt. Look, there's a hole right there. There's a hole right there. I've had this faded ass Wu-Tang shirt for fucking
nice name drop.
Wu-Tang, babe. Yeah, right. True, that's Wu-Tang, though, baby.
I just need to get a new one because it's literally about to fall off my shoulder.
No, but like I was saying, like Andrew is an engineer by trade. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have to do music or his marketing course and shit like that. Like he's plenty paid. Which obviously helps him be able to not have to worry about, you know, performing live and stuff like that. Because if you're into music and you don't want to do live performances, you better be able to fucking handle being behind a computer a fuck ton.
Well, and the thing about him too, a lot of people probably don't know, is that he actually was a previous student a few years back of Adam Ivy as well. And so like, you know, because I'm still in Adam Ivy's stuff. I've taken his stuff since like 2019 or whatever, and learned from him, learned from all kinds of people. But I found it was interesting whenever Adam was just talking about recently. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to have Andrew on, and this private network that Adam's got. I'm going to have Andrew on to talk because he's like a guy with doing conversion ads and everything like that. He was actually one of my students and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. But I mean, makes sense. Right. But yeah, Andrew is a solid person, you know, with that. And he was talking about it, how he doesn't like to perform because he doesn't like to create content either, really, because he's not like that kind of a person. Where with me, I don't like to perform. I don't mind doing the content creation, but I don't like the performing portion. I'm not a big people person. Dan saw me at a show or whatever. I'm like in the corner, and then I get up on stage, and then I go back to my corner, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas Capone, when he's over there fucking kissing babies and hugging mamas and everything like that, whenever he's
mamas
at the show.
too, shit.
All right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called horribledesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out horribledesigns.com. At horribledesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out horribledesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, horribledesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show.
It's because you're there to do your job. You're there to perform, and you understand that. It's not, you're not there to do anything else. You're not there to talk to people. You're there to perform and put on a show.
You have people who like to do music. You have people who like to perform music. And then you have people who are showmen. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking showman. For one, my man KP is a showman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like hosting shows. I actually like hosting shows more than I like performing, but I like doing music so much that performance supersedes me wanting to host anything, because I get to, be up on stage and tell my story through my music. And so, but more than that, I like the fact that I have, my team that I've been building for the last few years and shit like that. Plus, me and my wife are artist partners that we have. I like to be the person that's like, hey, look at me, now look at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a juggalo. If y'all don't know what that is, fucking Google it. But you wouldn't never.
My bad. Hold up. Fuck. Wrong one. Wrong
Really
fucking
can't.
one. I am so sorry. There, dude. There.
I'm not tripping over that at all.
I think that's the first time you ever accidentally hit the wrong one.
I hit that is a first.
Perfect timing too.
Oh
That's
God,
awesome.
dude, I feel bad because I love Twisted. So and shout out to Juggalos. I got much love for y'all. So please, I am so fucking sorry. I am sorry.
I'll put it this way.
It's funny because you start clapping and then you hit the laugh one.
Oh, dude, yeah, no shit.
Most people wouldn't know that I was a juggalo if I never said anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
right.
When I became a part of that culture, it was one thing, and now it's turning into something different. And so I'm like, I'm a juggalo, but y'all new guys
Not
can
like
have that shit. But
yeah,
forgot what the fuck. God damn it, KP.
I'm sorry, man. I felt so bad when I did that.
With the
you were saying, what you had said before is that you're like you're the type of person that says, hey, look at me.
So
all right, now look
I'm
at
a
them.
juggalo, so I've always my Joker's card, which is the first 6 albums, like heavy albums from ICP. My Joker's card is Ringmaster, so that's the mentality I've always had, is the person who attracts the attention to give it out. You know what I'm saying? So
you're like the lightning
yeah,
rod.
and so I like mingling. Don't get me wrong. I call myself an extra introvert because I have no problem with sitting at home and not looking at a motherfucking person's face ever.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I do like interacting with other people. I like learning about people and shit like that. So I'm a bit of a Rubik's cube.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. But like, to kind of swing back to what we were talking about, in order to get shows where you're doing lives, in order to be up on the stage, if that's what you want to do, you can't be running fake streams on Spotify and then expect to get paid to perform, even if it's $50. You can't, $500. It doesn't matter. 5,000. You can't expect to get paid just because you got, 800,000 streams on your latest song in the last 6 months or whatever, right? Yeah. When they go and they look at your social media and they're like, well, your social media doesn't do shit. Like, where are your fans? Where are your conversions coming in? Who's on your email list? Who's buying your shit? Like, the whole apparatus, you don't have shit out of it. You just have the image going, right? You have a little bit of the image, but everybody by now can see through it. And that's one of the things I thought was weird. So from when was it? At the beginning of 2021 until around the beginning portion of 2023, I just like turned off social media. I stopped doing everything. I was dealing with some personal shit, but then I was dealing with some mental shit and everything like that. Just took 2 years, learned a lot of marketing, doubled my shit, got my life in order, decent amount. And it's not 100%, but I got a decent amount. And then I came back, right? And I started diving back into the culture of music and everything like that, And I saw that, when I left in 2020, people were still doing the same thing in 2023 that they were doing then, where they mainly operate off of their topic page on YouTube. If they have music videos up, it's on the videographer's fucking YouTube page, not theirs. They're running mainly their SoundCloud. They're trying to push people to that. Bandcamp is kind of like hit or miss on my personal opinion about that, so we'll leave that off the table. But like, they're still like running bot farms and like hopping on these bot playlists, and I'm like, I thought that shit got exposed in 2020. Like, I thought that was dead. I thought Spotify killed it. I thought, because the Spotify started coming out with their own playlists and shit like that, like, and there was approved ones or whatever,
and shit,
editorial, but there was like the approved ones, like Lyrical Lemonade and shit like that. And so like, I came back in 2023 and I'm like, I thought that shit was dead. Y'all are still paying $100 a month to get 40,000 streams on Spotify and get $10 back in royalties? Are you fucking out of your mind? Like, what's that doing for you? It's doing nothing. And so I'm like, and it still trips me out. We're here in June of 2024, motherfuckers are still doing it.
Yeah.
It's like whenever you're at a certain level of artist, the same information's kicked around. They're not getting any new shit. And I'm like, how are you all still in 2024 when you're a certain level of artist, you're that level 0, level 1 artist, you're still using the same information that I learned the negative lesson on in 2019 whenever I saw somebody get deleted off of Spotify in total and banned for running a fucking stream team. In 2019, I learned that, and in 2024, motherfuckers still doing it.
They didn't do it right though. There's ways to where
it was like communism wasn't done right, so we need to keep trying it.
I'm being serious. I know who it is that
I know you know who it is. We were there the whole time. I know.
Yeah, I know who it is. They didn't do it right though. Like I ran a campaign for like 2 years, over 1 million streams on multiple platforms. Like at one point we were making like $500 a month off of royalties. But when I realized that the issues is when I realized was, okay, so the artist isn't taking that money and putting it back into real marketing. They're just padding their pocket. And there's no real growth off of it. That's where the problem comes in. There's no real growth.
Yeah, it would make sense if they took that $500 a month, put it towards conversion ads, which would do fucking crazy. Because me and you, we haven't even spent $500 yet, and I'm getting crazy numbers.
Like if you're gonna do this shit like that, then it has to go back into the fucking the market.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Because it'll only make sense that way. If you are if you're running the streams and the stream farms or whatever have you, if you're getting $200-300 a month, that $200-300 a month should be going into your music that you don't have on the playlist to get real shit to convert your following into actual listeners, convert your listeners into subscribers, shit like that. again, when I was on one, I wasn't making over $100, and so that $100 fucking bought my cigarettes. When I was drinking, it bought my booze. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit like that. And so when I realized
And
that
when you got
I
a
had,
lot of vices, that extra money goes towards
Yeah.
that. I mean, when you know,
I had no
I used to
fans.
be like that too. You know, smoking weed, drinking, smoking cigarettes, you get extra money. It goes
I
to
got,
that. It
I
don't
got
go to any
thousands of
investments.
fucking streams. You know, a
Yeah.
little bit of money and no fans. That
Right.
wasn't
Yeah.
mathing to me. You know what I'm saying? And so I
Mhm.
told my
No.
boy to take me off the playlist. And after I did that, I realized two things. One, I have fucked that name up. I had fucked my Savage Capone name up. You know what I'm saying? Doing that, because now I'm tied to a bunch of artists that nobody was fucking listening to on Spotify. And so that was part of the reason why I decided to rebrand myself under S Capone. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
New artist name. I'll release new music under that. So, and now
on
now
Spotify.
I'm so much further this year than I was
Right.
2 years ago when I stopped being on those playlists. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
I may not have a bunch of streams, mostly due to me not having a lot of new music out, but my
Right.
fan engagement is better. I'm actually putting forth effort towards my content. I'm helping my artists, you know, with their content, helping build their pages and stuff up like that. It makes a lot more sense to me now that I see it on this side. Like,
Yeah.
I was dumb for doing it, but I was also even dumber for not utilizing it properly.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I see too is that a lot of artists they won't take the time to learn how to do things properly. They just look for that quick hit, that quick flip, that fucking
That
easy
endorphin.
fix. You know that and like I said on Monday too, is you know people took the motto "work smarter, not harder," and somehow it turned into just be lazy.
Yeah.
Like that's not what it means. Work smarter, not harder doesn't mean just be lazy and take the easy way out. It means find the most efficient way to accomplish the task that you want to accomplish. You know, and that's so yeah. Like okay, don't use fucking stream teams and shit like that. But if you end up using it for a couple months to get a couple extra bucks, okay, fine, whatever. I don't recommend doing that at all, though. Honestly. I mean,
I don't either.
yeah, I mean, if you got fucking 4 to 8 days off a month from your regular job, go do something else on the side, right? Whether it's
Go shoot some content.
OnlyFans or fucking Grubhub and DoorDash, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Make a few extra bucks over there and use that for your for your actual stuff, and then get your education up too.
Yeah,
you know, and so that's why I'm putting together multiple different courses to help people, but even if you don't buy a course from any one of us, right, you actually we all work with artists to help them get the knowledge, right? We teach them, we help them go through the stuff. We don't hide the knowledge, like, oh, that's a trade secret, just pay me and I'll get it done for you. Like we don't fuck around like that. It's like, like you want to sit next to me while I'm doing this shit? Like what's up?
It's a lot cheaper for us to teach you than it is to do it for you.
Well, there's that too.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly.
I've been called a gatekeeper because of that. So
yeah, you've been called a gatekeeper because you want people to pay you for the knowledge. You're not just giving it out for free, and you're not just going to do things for free either. Too. That's why you were called a gatekeeper. See, that's the thing is that he. So backstory is Dan, when he was first getting started, he got a couple of artists that he fucked with their music and fucked with their motivations. He's like, hey, I want to help you out. I'll help you out. And so he was doing some stuff for free, helping them out and everything like that, taking a percentage off the back, but he was doing it to help them. Well, then they got very entitled, very lazy, and just expected him to do everything. They're like, oh, you're my manager. You need to be doing everything for me. And then they would go and try to make these little side deals and keep 100% of the money and not cut Dan in on anything. Right. And that's when I came on and started working with him last year. And I'm like, no, fuck that guy, fuck that guy, fuck that guy. Like, like I started like saying that fuck you to everybody, like in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Half baked.
Half baked. Yeah, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're all right, but fuck you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I started saying because, and then since me and Dan started working together, we changed a lot of things, and people have been getting butthurt. They're like, oh damn man, you switched up. Oh, you're fucking you're changing up all this stuff and everything like that. You're being a gatekeeper. It's like, fuck you. Like I'm wanting you to pay me for my time and my knowledge because you're not wanting to pay me for shit. You just want me to do everything for you. I'm not fucking charity.
My favorite one is knowledge is free. Why should I pay you? Okay, look it
Okay.
up.
Then go get the
Okay,
knowledge. Then dumb
so
fuck.
I say that a lot. I say that a lot. There is way too many fucking free resources out here for artists to still be this fucking
I
dumb.
say that too.
Y'all are,
Yeah, I mean,
I,
they can go exactly. They can go get the free resources. They're
Yeah.
available. Fuck, I give them out too on fucking Music Makes Sense podcast. We give them here all the time on Apex Music System YouTube. I give out shit. Right? We give out a lot of shit, but we're not gonna give out
and
100%.
so it's like when
fuck.
people are throwing that word gatekeeper around a whole lot without an actual meaning
yeah,
or an actual realization what it means. Because if somebody
right.
wants you to pay them to give you the knowledge that they 9 times out of 10 paid to get or spent a lot
Paid
of
for.
fucking time to get, they want to call you a gatekeeper. And it's not, and I'm just gonna say it's a lot of broke fucking artists out here calling people gatekeepers just simply because they don't have the fucking money to pay for them, and they think it should just be
Yeah.
given to them because they're the next one on.
All right. I just wanted to come in here and let every single one of y'all who love raw, real underground hip hop know about a dope show I found over on YouTube. And they're exclusively on YouTube as well, too. All right. It's called Hip Hop Radar Underground. Make sure you go check them out. They got live Friday shows every single Friday, showcasing artists from all across the world, underground, raw, real hip hop. And if you're an artist, you can actually go and submit your music there too and get it popping on that show. It's a great place to go and network with everybody as well too. Everybody that watches that show and tunes in live are raw, real hip hop fans. All right. So it's a great place to find some real lovers of your music. And like I said, if you love listening to dope new music, make sure you go check them out. They also offer artist spotlight interviews as well too. So if you're an artist, you want a spotlight, go ahead and hit them up over there. Me and KP were just previously on there and we had a dope interview, sat down with the host himself, Sack Juggalo, and had a great conversation. It was a great opportunity. So I just wanted to cut this message right here for every single one of y'all who love raw, real hip hop, or you're an artist. Make sure you go check out Hip Hop Radar Underground over on YouTube. You can also follow them over on IG. Make sure you go check them out. All right, let's get back to the show. Right, or they don't figure out how to make that extra money to where they can do it. Like whenever I took Adam Ivy's Sell Music Mastermind version 2 back in 2019, I didn't have $1,000 to fucking pay for it, but he had a payment plan for fucking 12 months for $100 a month. I knew I was going to pay an extra fucking $200-$300 for it over the course of a year, but I'm like, okay, I'll figure out how to get an extra $100. I don't really have it, but I'll figure it out. Right. And I figured it out. I mean, you got to you figure it out some way, shape, or form. You just dive into YouTube, and learn all the shit that everybody puts out here. Because a lot of times people will put out a lot of the same information that they sell in a course. It's just a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more directed in a course, and we talked about Andrew Southworth. He puts out a bunch of information, and his course is a lot of the same information, but with a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the Salt Bay guy. He's like a little bit extra on that shit, right? And so like that's the thing. Like we have all learned a fuck ton of shit off of free content on YouTube. Some of it was bullshit. Some of it's dope, right? I mean, you just got to pick and choose. Because I hear people say all the time, "Oh, you can't just hear something on YouTube and regurgitate it and act like you're shit." And I'm like I had
what
somebody
the fuck
actually
do you
tell
think
me
going
that
to
I sound like a
college
YouTube video. Yeah. Right, exactly that too. Exactly. I had somebody tell me I sound like a YouTube video, and I'm like, okay, well then you need to keep watching the fucking YouTube videos then, because what I'm saying is fucking real. Yeah. Like, okay, you're listening to this shit, but you're like, oh no, that ain't it. Oh, have you tried it? Right. Like, have you and that's whenever I'm saying put out a one piece of short form content every single day to all 5 social media platforms. Oh, you sound like a YouTube video. It's called a content creation strategy, you dumb fuck.
Man,
like
artists. All right, so I'm an artist.
Hey, artist, you're in the entertainment business. Entertain people.
I'm an artist, and I'm also a businessman. You know who I hate doing business with? Artists. Because artists are some of the most crybaby, bougie, entitled, gimme, I'm so talented, you should give everything me for free. Hey, your beats are dope, let me have a bunch of them and then never fucking pay you just so you can get the No, that is not the fuck how business works in any industry.
And see, the thing is too, is that there's plenty of artists out there that don't want to fuck with the business element. Okay, cool. but recognize the business element and get people like me, Capone, Dan, KP to help you with the business element. Understand we are the business element. You go be the artist that you want to be, right? And recognize that there's a business element to it, because that's one thing that you just basically pointed out, Capone, is that they see the business, but they're like, no, fuck that. Just give me, you know? And then they have like the lottery ticket mindset. Oh, one day I'm just gonna get signed and everything will be good. It's like, you mean you're gonna sign your life away? Okay, that's what you're gonna actually do. They don't realize that you know, a lot of these deals, when you have nothing you're bringing to the table, but just your image and a sound, maybe, right? Maybe you are dope on the mic, right? Maybe you do have a good image, a solid image. Your face is made for camera and shit. Maybe you got all that going on. But if you bring nothing to the table with you, now they have all the leverage in that shit. But if you come, we talked about this whenever I was on Nick D's D a few months back. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he gets approached by, because I saw some of his content. I started learning about him, and I saw what he's been doing, and I'm like, oh shit. And so I was kind of on Nick D's D there for a little bit. It was a joke KP said, and but like, you know, he said whenever he gets approached by labels, you know, this may be a little bit gassing it up, but whenever he gets approached by labels, he's like, okay, well, what can you do for me? Because all you're sitting here is saying what I can do for you. Like, and they're like, oh, well, he's like, I can do everything already doing everything that you just said you would do for me. You're just going to put extra money behind it and blow it up more. Okay, I can do that too. I can just take my money and just reinvest even harder. Like, what the fuck are you going to do for me?
Yeah,
You know
I was thinking I want to like just kind of share these two things with you guys real quick, because I was just just to kind of go back to the streaming part and to fold into this part of the conversation as well. When I got into the like doing the stream team thing is where I was with this I got on this playlist, and it was with it was mainly with rap music, and at the time I was just getting into more of jazz and instrumental stuff. And so this was more of a working stream team where we had to pretty much play the music ourselves, play the entire playlist, and then take then screenshot photos of how often we played the playlist.
Damn,
and then
they
send
were
it.
stringent.
Yeah,
So
I've done that. I've been on that.
I did that one, and I was just like, okay, what is this doing? And then I just finally got off of it because I just realized this isn't going to get me anywhere, right? And just kind of to say this because it's just the conversations we're having about working with other artists within marketing. To be honest with you guys, and just listening to y'all say that when you mentioned me, honestly, dude, I stopped. I stopped helping art, and I'm gonna say why not.
Yeah, I didn't want to call you out on that, but yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, that's some like behind the scenes shit. I don't think you've ever said it in public.
No, but we've talked about it behind the scene. But no, I've stopped, and understand this, and it's not because I don't. It's not that I feel like I have my feelings towards a lot of artists, but at the same time, I know I can be as well. But here's what, like, I can be a crybaby. I'm just gonna straight up be that.
Yeah,
I can be a fucking crybaby, dude. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. But my hope that for me, it was more because I realized that at the same time, I got to use this term. I'm pretty selfish, man, when it comes to that. Like, I was like, all right, I learned this stuff myself. Yes, I paid for it. And I could have gotten a lot of money in, trying to teach other artists, right? Because I know how to sell. I know how to I do know how to sell. So I really didn't have a problem with being able to get money out of artists. I started actually feeling more out of place. Because, and that's why for me, as we talked about this with my course, I was going to start a band business course. But I realized I was looking at art like, oh, well, they don't want to listen. But I realized, I was like, well, is it that they don't want to listen, or is it this is something that I want to do for myself?
Right.
And exactly. I had to think about that. And I really had to think about, okay, am I willing to go out here and teach, or am I willing to invest the knowledge that I have into myself as an artist? Because that's where I truly feel that I'm going to make my money, is getting back out there on stage, but building myself to the point of people wanting to pay to see me out there because of the way the market has become today, and the way the really not just so much the market, but the economy as well, right? Being able to see that, but now learning how to utilize the marketing skills and advertise, and the fact that I do know how to sell, and understanding my situations, that the situation that I have. That's
Especially
why
in your genre as well,
especially
too.
my genre.
I mean, you can really take your knowledge and really go from there. And if all else fails, you know how to do it. So, say for instance, your vocal cord pops one day, right? You have the knowledge now. You may sound raspy. You may not be able to get up on the mic as much anymore, but now you can switch back into, okay, I'm going to help artists. Artists, look what I did. I had a fucking injury, my vocal cord popped, but I can help you. You can still understand me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can go and you can switch because you got the knowledge. But if you're just an artist who is the next one on, right? Like Capone was just saying, if you're an artist and you're only an artist, you don't know shit about the business. If something happens, you know what I'm saying, you get a vocal injury, whatever the situation is, and you can't do the music portion anymore, then what?
But see, this is where the fact I started realizing too. Well, if I don't want to go through those injuries and shit like that, because I'm thinking myself, I still believe in myself as being an athlete and a performer, right? I still have that prowess. I still have that energy. So I think about my health, right? So artists, instead of just thinking about, well, I want, about just how you want to just get out there and perform, think about your health. I lift weights, I train, I eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure that I keep my body in shape. I do vocal lessons. I sing. I sing every day. I practice. I watch voice lessons on videos and YouTube and stuff. So I'm always keeping my health. I even got a fucking respiratory trainer right here, man, to focus on my breathing and getting out there doing sprints and strongman and like you know what I'm saying? So
the chocolate chip cookies with coffee.
And the chocolate chip cookies with coffee that I bake with vanilla whey protein. All right. And I put
I'm fucking with you. I remember that one.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because I think that is delicious. I don't care. So anyway, but guys, look, all right. And besides, you were talking about, okay, listen, I'm not going to go there about Pop Tarts and soda, mister.
Yeah,
but
that was when I was a teenager.
Yeah, but anyway, my taste buds are better than yours. Anywho, okay. But anyway, guys, I decided that, but at the same time, guys, and I started thinking about that from a marketing and a branding perspective. And to give you guys my cool announcement, I'm going to be working with Austere. I'm going to be working with them, and they're going to be helping me get together the thing that I've been talking about, because the idea came from the boss lady herself, who I had a pleasure of talking with yesterday live, and in the class, to Natasha. So I had a really great conversation with her, man. And so I'm going to be working with them, and they're going to be helping me put together I got my image together, but they're going to help me be able to really sell it online. Because I told them my mission is to go at being a metal vocalist, a solo metal artist from a different angle, right? Especially especially utilizing social media. So they're going to be, they're going to be, and they're going to be working with me. So I'm going to be, paying them to get me into
some good information as well too. I mean,
hell yeah.
Fuck, we've all taken courses. I mean, fuck, I'm in like 3 different courses right now or something. Dan's in a few. Like we all, knowledge is key. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was sitting there thinking about it. Like all these people that will go to like college or whatever for a few years and stuff like that to learn some stuff. I'm like, okay, I never went to college. Well, technically I did, but I dropped out. Like, but
I did too.
I've spent like 7 years fucking learning this marketing shit, taking multiple different courses, but just been like, just studying it and thinking about it. I've at least got a 4-year degree, if not working on a master's.
Yeah.
And what's really trippy too is that I had just a back and forth conversation with one guy in off of Facebook, and then he saw my video that I posted on Apex Music System, websites versus SEO, which is better or whatever, or sorry, websites versus smart URLs, which is better.
Mm-hmm.
He watched that, and then he fucking commented on one of my posts. He said, I have a degree, I think he said multiple degrees in the music industry, and I've been in this shit for over 10 years. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. And I'm like, well, that just proves you don't need a fucking degree if my dumb ass can fucking know this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you get the knowledge, it's not about how you get the knowledge. It's about getting the knowledge and then actually being able to use it.
Well, this time, but this one, I'm going to be getting one-on-one coaching.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
With,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that's going to be a lot better than any degree.
I'm going to be stepping up. Yeah. So so I'm going to be stepping up the game of like being able to work with them on a one-on-one basis on a regular, where they're helping me like really get my content together, piecing it together, posting it one-on-one, really getting that serious coaching for you as an artist. And I'm serious, guys. If you do like invest that time and money into it, if you're one of those artists that gets lost in the sauce and trying to get how to properly place your content and how to utilize your image and your visual and your identity, those things, get that one-on-one coaching. I'm telling you, Austere is one of the best places to do this. So I'm looking forward to working with them, man.
Is good, but Apex Music System is better. All right, y'all. I just want to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really, really specializes in, like, portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harco's over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show. So,
no, you guys, no, here's the thing. You go more for, there's a difference. I'm serious. Like, and there is a difference, guys. We like focusing more, and I noticed this even with Sean and them, like there's a more focus on the business, right? And which is very important. But where it's different where Natasha
focus on like the image portion.
Yeah, she focuses on the visual art, the visual artist identity, where it's like, how do you market and brand that? And for me, being that I'm more of because I am that artist, I want to focus more on the branding. That's my strength. So so it would be more beneficial. And guys, I'm saying this because it's like you have to understand, like, when you learn marketing and learn branding, you have to know which one you actually are strongest at, right? And if you're an artist, you need to focus more on the branding aspect, because that's where you're going to be able to make your money. But understanding how marketing works behind it is very important as well, because that's where 90% of the business and the administrative work that you're going to have to do. But if you're able to utilize it and paint it within the canvas, right, and use it as an art, which is your strength, then you'll be able to start excelling as an artist,
and you got to have the back
end
end stuff that Capone talks about all the time too, with all the registration and all that shit.
Right,
too.
and that's what I'm saying. But you able to knowing that, because that's what you have to do the business. So being able to use that, so being able to use the business or paint the business aspect and the administrative work, use it as a canvas, right?
Yep.
So that way, like learning how to use the business and being able to paint that picture as a canvas instead of you utilizing it as a person who is like Harkos, right? Where you focus more on the marketing and you're actually good at becoming more of an instructional marketer, right? Like yourself, or like an Andrew Southworth, where you guys are musicians, but you use it more as a concept because you focus that creativity into being able to utilize it in marketing. Whereas artists like myself, it would be stronger for us to utilize it in the branding, right? You learn the marketing aspects, learn how to market, learn how to advertise, but learn how to do it within the brand to strengthen your brand.
When it comes to an artist brand, your biggest fucking tool is your story. Your fucking story, whatever it may be. If you got to tell a different story about you every fucking release, doesn't matter if it's a single or a project, do that. But what people tie themselves to is the person. It's not like back in mid late 90s and shit where people were still rocking off the fucking music. If the music was dope, people would fucking listen to it. There are millions more artists out there right now, and over 160,000 songs being uploaded a day to just Spotify. Who the fuck knows else? Because there's people that don't put their music on Spotify.
Right.
But it's
raise your hand, Capone.
if you tell your story, if you can get people to like you, it doesn't even have to be music. If you sell fucking socks, if people like you, they're gonna buy your fucking socks.
Yep. It all comes down to the marketing angle of know, like, and trust. They have to know you, they have to like you, and then they have to trust you enough to give you money for whatever, to take any kind of action. It doesn't have to be directly giving you money, but to take any kind of action.
Whatever your call to action is, you know who your fucking super fans are, because it doesn't matter what your call to action is, they fucking go and do it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, I just finished Jeezy's book. It was the audio book. He talked several times. Yeah, he talked several times about branding and how certain things that he really focused on, like the snowman, as a branding ploy.
Right there, over my head. If you're watching,
he said that when he got the T-shirts of the snowman made, that he took that and he printed it up, but he did one thing that he regretted that he should have done. He didn't trademark it.
Yep.
He didn't trademark it.
He said that he would have made billions off of that if he exactly. Capone's got his trademarked, but he said he would have made billions off of the snowman if he would have had it trademarked, but he didn't. But it helped his image. Yeah, but he said it helped his image. It was everywhere. But yeah,
it did.
Yeah. It did. Jeezy's book, Adversity for Sale, is a dope motherfucking book.
Really good. I just finished it.
I listened to it last year. That and 50 Cent's Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. Those are both great books. You guys gotta check them out. I think we may have talked about it.
But Dan, I just kind of I want Dan to kind of Dan dig into that a little bit more, man, because I kind of want to really know your perspective on it since you just finished the book and it's a fresh one. So yeah, go ahead, man, please.
So what he was talking about, his experiences in the music and how it correlated with his life and different things that was happening in real time, that basically, like, would it really been the same if he wasn't a part of it? Like the BMF situation, like he said, he don't really think BMF would have been the thing if at the time he was really blowing up. Right. He was really like coming into his name. And the same thing, he said that same thing with trap music. He said that trap music really wasn't a thing until he stepped on the scene. He said, T.I. was doing his thing, but he really didn't embrace the culture, the trap culture. He really didn't embrace it. And yeah, he really didn't embrace it. And he even shared some things where like T.I. told him, "Hey bro, you need to chill it out with you're hustling, like what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're really."
he told him you need to either be an artist or a hustler. You can't do both.
Yeah,
Because he was
he
doing
said,
both still.
but later after he had talked about that and was like, okay, maybe he has a point because certain things are going on, people are falling, like
Yeah,
so
Big
that's
Meech
when
got
he
locked up and shit.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, he really dove back into his music and just focused mainly on that and started cutting people off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said in one part of the book too. I remember is that he whenever he did that after it's like right around the time Big Meech got locked up, he was like, all right, and then like the Ti conversation, he's like, all right, fine, whatever. And then like his cousin fucked him over on some shit and stuff like that. A lot of things were going wrong. So he just went to the studio, locked himself in there, and it was like a studio nobody really knew about or something like that. But he locked himself in there for like over a week with like bullshit food or whatever, and just like went hard on the music, and then took all the money that he had.
McDonald's. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah. He took all the money that he
Something
had
like that.
and just put it out on his campaign and was putting out I can't remember what album it was, or I think it was like The Streets Is Watching or something like that, but one of his mixtapes.
Streets Is Watching and Trap or Die.
Yeah, but he just like the one that he handed out, like he handed out like 350,000 copies or something like that all around Georgia.
Yeah.
And he handed them out, and with like 2 weeks later when he went to go perform, everybody knew all the words to the song.
Everybody knew.
And then
he
went,
words,
and then
yeah.
he had 2 deals. He had the Def Jam deal and he had the Bad Boy deal on the table, and he was like, "What the fuck?" So this is where it came from. He created the buzz that people loved his shit. They wanted his shit to where he had labels fighting for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he did the thing with Bad Boy South doing the Boys in the Hood track that blew because of his verse, right? Yeah. And because he brought that real shit to it. You know, if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back. Like nobody was talking like that on tracks, and so like he really stepped it up with that, like what you were saying, Dan.
Yeah, he actually said that when he pitched the idea of releasing his album and then fought like kind of like preluding that with the Boys in the Hood as like a kind of like give him a taste. He said that Jay-Z said that was genius, like,
and it was
because
after that Boys in the Hood song popped, then all of a sudden his fucking Trap 101.
Yeah, then a couple weeks later his shit came out.
So what was so? Oh, I'm saying, go ahead,
Capone. Man.
A lot of people knew who Jeezy was by that point. They had no idea who Ace Hood, or not Ace Hood, but Jody Breeze. What the fuck was the other nigga's name?
Big Gee.
Yeah. They didn't know who, because I had no idea who the fuck they were until that. Because right after that, once Jeezy dropped his shit, Jody Breeze dropped his, and I think that's when the fucking whole
broke,
shit.
Yeah, and Jody Breeze was the only one that even made any noise after that. The rest of the guys fell off. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it was a beautiful marketing scheme. I wish it would have worked out better for everybody, but it don't work out like that for everybody.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying. But yeah, no. Go ahead, KP.
No, I was just gonna say I just want to. So since you guys are going, so with that, what do you guys think? We all with the artists, what do you guys think from a marketing aspect? What do you guys think artists could learn from this book?
Fuck, a lot.
All
right, so name. Okay, all right, so name 3. All right, cool. Let's name 3. Like, okay, so just kind of like, so we can kind of end the show.
Right.
Name 3 things that you guys feel that they could learn from this book. And I want all 3 of y'all to answer. So first, Dan, go ahead, and then Capone, and then lastly, you, Hark.
I've never read the book.
Okay. Well, fair enough. So
from a branding perspective, like we were talking about,
okay,
he really went in on the snowman and he embraced what that meant. A lot of people didn't understand
Mascot.
what the snowman actually meant until they got to know more of his music and they listened to it and they realized, oh, this is what that actually means. Like he really went in on this on
Exactly, Capone lining that shit up and going.
he really
Yeah.
went in on the snowman, which that was branding for him. That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially since, like you said, trap music wasn't really popping until him, because he took that full brand on. Not only did he have the feds actually fucking chasing him out of his penthouse
Yeah,
apartment and shit, because that's one of the things he talks about in the book too. But
he did.
he knew, like, he actually was fucking with the real Big Meech and fucking like all this shit, like all the stuff. He was the guy. Like, his name used to be Lil J, and then he, right around the time whenever he's like put the dope away, he changed it to Young Jeezy, and then now he's Jeezy because he's not young no more. That's
Right.
his call sign for that. But yeah,
Right.
go ahead, Dan.
Your turn.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I don't have anything else. To say.
okay, yeah, yeah. So you
So
can
one
learn
would be
the branding.
the branding,
Yeah,
of the image, the trademark image and the story behind Snowman. So the branding,
the story.
the story,
Mm-hmm.
and the image.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the pushing of that, because like Capone said, story is key, and Jeezy's story is like he was that motherfucker in the trap down there in between Savannah and Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And like, he was that dude. People knew him on the streets. So whenever he came out and he was talking that shit on tracks, making dope tracks. And one thing with him too is that he even said it like, yeah, exactly, dope tracks. Yeah, get it. And but he even said too is that, like, people always, his whole life, people always thought he was slow because he talked slow, right? And he didn't talk a lot, and because he was always thinking. But he's really fucking intelligent. People always thought he was dumb.
He has a very stoic. He has a very stoic person.
Yeah,
and that southern drawl. Yeah, and the southern drawl. That's just how they talk. They're not really a lot of fat people. But even in Georgia, fast. Yeah, a lot of people started picking up the fast talk because they heard. I think it was more like that Memphis style. But I think
probably.
that, but
South
Georgia,
Carolina too. They talk
South
super
Carolina,
fast.
They super fast. Yeah, but yeah, I think that so. So that right there is where I think that came from. But so basically, like you guys are saying, man, and again, that visual artist identity, right? So that whole thing where that is so important, because behind it, he was able to utilize that and market that, and people just, they ate it up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, absolutely. It's a great book, because it's called Adversity for Sale, and he talks about all the things that were stacked against him and how he overcame everything at some level, right? But then he got more adversity and he just kept fucking just head on facing all of it. It didn't matter what it was. Growing up poor in the fucking South, and then all the way up to where he is today, right? Everything. And
10x that authenticity.
Exactly. I mean, he just stayed him and just went all in. And see, like, I love his music because of his determination. Just like my song Unstoppable, right? Like, it's all about being unstoppable, being undeniable, and just anything that comes your way, fuck it, I'm gonna get it, right? And that's what his music's a lot about. Trap motivation 101, about, motivating the hustlers to get out and get it, stuff like that. He's very motivational. That's why I like. And that book is dope. 50 Cent's book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, is a great book as well too. He talks about the adversity that he went over.
Yeah, and both of them are really good.
And he also talks about how he used not only his personal attitude, but also his image to help him as well too. But when he became famous for saying, for telling Oprah, well, if we can't be friends, can we at least be enemies? And the Oprah's people were like, what the fuck? Nobody's ever said that to me. And he's like, what? If you're not gonna be my friend, let's be enemies. Then fuck it. Let's have some kind of relationship. Yeah. We're gonna benefit one way or another. Which way you want to do it? And so, like, that's how he looked at it. He's like, you're either gonna be with me or against me, but let's roll. And both of those books are really, really dope. I read those, or listened to those back to back last summer when they came out, because they came out both around the same time. Y'all need to go check those out. And then of course, make sure you check out all of our stuff, Apex Music System, Hangar 5 Entertainment, and wearethenameless.com as well too, for any of your marketing information and everything like that as well too. But yeah, absolutely. Like, I think the solidification of all this is from where we started to where we end now. It's not about what it looks like with your stream numbers. It's about what you actually stand for and provide as an artist to your fans, with your story, with your image, with your brand, with your marketing, all that shit together. That's where you go from being a scam artist to a musical artist.
Yep. Facts.
Absolutely.
Like you always say, are you being an entertainer? Are you actually entertaining?
Mm-hmm.
Are you providing some sort of value to your fans?
A lot of people forget that part. If you make music, you're in the entertainment industry. If you don't want to be an entertainer, don't put your music out. Because once you put your music out, you enter that, and then you need to do that. You need to entertain.
Yep.
Whatever it is, you ain't gotta go out of your element, but within your element, entertain what's within that element. If you're a trapper, entertain in the trap way. If you're a breakdancer, do it in that, you know what I'm saying? If you're a metal artist like KP, entertain in that way. You know what I'm saying? Entertain within the genre you're in, because that's what you do. That's your business.
And the last thing I want to say is, guys, because we're talking about the bots and the streams and stuff like that, the marketing stream, if you follow those very things, like we were just talking about, where you have great branding, you have great visual identity, right, for people to relate to in that story and that within your brand, that will get people to stream your music a lot more, and you can build a legitimate following any way, shape, form, or fashion, however you do it, whether you do it on Spotify or you got it on your own personal website and you don't stream. But if you have those three together, you will get the numbers that you want to succeed.
And stop worrying about streams. If you're doing everything else that you're supposed to be doing as an artist, the streams are going to come regardless. Yep. You do not have to sit out here and hustle for a fucking fraction of a penny per stream. Stop that shit. Go do a show. Go print you up 10 fucking shirts. Go do a show. Sell all 10 of those shirts.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying with everything. Yeah. With everything, even with everything.
Even if they did pay $1 per stream, it's not about how many streams you get. That's short-sighted looking. It's about how many fucking listeners you have, how many followers you have, how many fans you have. That's what matters most. You can have 800,000 fucking streams in a year, but if you only had 1,000 fucking 100 listeners, that ain't shit. It's about having the quality of the listener and the fan.
Yeah. But just focus on those guys.
And for my last part, fuck Spotify.
Yeah, always. That's Capone's sign off.
That's Capone's.
Absolutely.
Man.
KP hit it, man.
All right,
absolutely,
guys.
Man. So yeah, take all that. Keep tuning in to every single fucking episode. Make sure you hit up wearethenameless.com. Was it links.wearethenameless.com?
Yeah,
it's
links.wearethenameless.com.
Yeah, it's in the description. We're gonna have Hanger 5 ENT's website on the description as well.
It was designed by your boy.
Yeah, I designed it. I'm getting ready to redesign it too. Once you, he's doing a little bit of company rearranging right now too. So after that,
rearranging, yeah.
But yeah, designed by me, always. And yeah, ApexMusicSystem.com, and just keep tuning in. Music Making Sense Pod, everything on everywhere. And go ahead and play that funky music, KP.
Word.
Yeah. Yeah. Much love to every single one of the affiliates that we got. You heard them throughout the show. You see them down below. Yeah. Get that chin work going.
We out, y'all.
Absolutely.